Good morning, Steve Zelenardo here with Remax Experts, Zelenardo Associates. Just a real quick update in the market. Current inventory, we're at 20,187 units. So this is obviously a new threshold. We haven't hit these numbers since May of 2019. So it's literally 4 years in the making that we haven't seen more than 20,000 units on the market. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you exactly how that looks and what we were facing back in 2019, the difference. Because right now we have months of inventory, going to be like 4 and 5 months of inventory. Back when this was 20,000 units in 2019, it was like a 2 months of inventory available, which was still very fast market. We got Mike Gaddy in the house actually. Mike flew in.
Hello.
Other business going on. Let's have a look at what we got here. Okay, so look, May 2019, we see active listings, 20,000 units available on the market. This is all across the GTA and Toronto. 2 months of inventory, so this is great. Like the average sales price, 99.5% of asking, 19 days in the market. This was a nice flowing market. This was where we had a lot of time to, we had time to list the property, sell it in a couple of weeks, but we also had a lot of time to kind of, look around and purchase property, which was great. Let's keep it going here. Let's move it to September of 2023. This is the earliest or the latest data we have of our current markets. So we have 18,900 units, and we know as of today we're over 20,000. But look at the inventory. So we're at 4.1 months of inventory. This is actually still really good. 100% of asking, which is great. I don't know how they're getting these numbers, but anyway, it's 100% of asking, and we got 20 days in the market. But the only worrisome here is the amount of inventory currently on the market. This is double what we had, let's just say, like the absorption rate's double than we had in 2019. So that's pretty much what we're seeing now with the current market. Clearly, everything is slowed down dramatically. We are still doing deals. We're still buying and selling, but obviously at a way slower pace. So we'll keep that going. I want to show you guys another article here. So this is an interesting one. Canada Bank Watchdog flags risk of higher borrowing costs. So clearly they're trying to have some sort of reckoning now, talking about how this is affecting people's lives, and obviously the commercial sectors is the next thing to kind of sort of collapse in America and in Canada right now. This is what we're seeing and what we're hearing for sure because of the bank exposures. Just kind of read through this quickly. Canada's main banking regulator flagged elevated borrowing costs as a growing risk to the country's financial system as housing and commercial real estate remain top vulnerabilities. Commercial more than resi, to be honest. The Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institutes, so basically this is OFSA, said higher interest rates are pressuring retail, corporate, and commercial borrowers when it comes to their ability to service debt, according to a report released on Thursday. But we knew this. This has been out for about a year. We also know about some of our big banks' liquidity issues right now. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the background. So when you start seeing people say next year is going to be great, they're going to lower the interest rates, a whole bunch of stuff. Like, be cautious with that, clearly, because they want to keep this market sort of like chugging along. So it says for consumers, higher borrowing costs create mortgage challenges. Home prices in Canada rose steadily for years, with few price corrections, then surged during the COVID pandemic, with the interest rates dropped to rock bottom levels. Though the market slumped last year, the national benchmark home price has still doubled in the past decade to $757. It's true because we bought our first house in Bolton for $365. That's probably like 1.2 now. It's almost 2.5, 3 times the value that we originally purchased it 10 years ago. There's also uncertainty about the long-term value of commercial properties as remote and hybrid work arrangements persist. Yeah, that's a huge issue, clearly, a lot of these office towers. Some people are, well, we're always talking about, I was talking about this early on in maybe 2019, 2020, when we did those, even earlier than that, the REIT that I did in Miami in 2017, where it's like they'll start converting buildings into like multi-use, more of like a vertical city. But also the retrofit cost, is got to be careful with that. If it doesn't make sense, then it doesn't make sense. You'd have to buy these buildings at rock bottom prices and then rejig them to create like a vertical city. This portion of it I want to read out because this is what we've been talking about a lot this year. Because when we went into 2023, we expected a little more of like a slump coming in, more of like a downtrodden market just based on the debt load being held by Canadians in general. What we didn't realize is that the banks were doing reverse mortgages. So what was happening is, and this is an article actually, this is the first time I've seen it printed, but what was happening is, so let's just say you're on a variable rate mortgage, your payment didn't change. Let's just say it stayed very much the same, but it went all interest only. And if the interest topped on top of the actual payment that they needed, it was coming out of your balance, so principal paid in the past. And this is the first article that actually put this together. So here, let's read it. Many Canadian borrowers hold variable rate mortgage that move up and down with Bank of Canada's policy rate. The cost of fixed rate mortgages also jumped alongside government bond yields. But this is the portion here. Canadian lenders have about 250 billion of mortgages with reported amortization periods of 35 years or longer. Remember, the average right now is 60 to 70 years right now. An average mortgage period to pay off a house in Canada is 60 to 70 years right now. Okay, they made it look nice, 35 plus. So Peter Rutledge, the superintendent of financial institutions, said during a news conference in September, some of those mortgages are actually negatively amortizing. And this is where they're doing a reverse mortgage where they're taking your principal paid down prior. So meaning the borrower's balance is actually rising. So that's basically they're coming back and they're taking your principal. This was it offered during COVID when I thought everyone was doing something nice for people. Clearly, when they shut down all the economy and no one could make money, where they were talking about they were going to freeze mortgages. I thought that was a great thing to do. But what they were doing is they were just taking their interest from your original principal being paid. So this is exactly what they've done during this period right now. But that's got to come to an end. Then I'll read on. It says some of those borrowers will be forced into much higher payments when their mortgages renew. OFSA is asking senior lenders at commercial banks what they're doing to shrink the problem. There's no fix, kids. We're going to have to get through this. This is going to have to be some sort of explosion and then some sort of reckoning and then some sort of program going forward. That's not going to happen again. I can't see this like holding together. But anyway, it is what it is. We'll keep you posted. If you have any questions, guys, please reach out, 647-962-4372. Thanks.